Greetings and welcome to another video. It's Saturday 29th of March 2025 and this afternoon I'm in Hadley. And yeah, it's a bit disappointing about the weather because it's all cloudy at the moment and trying to rain as well, which is annoying considering the past few days it was really gorgeous weather going on. But here we are. The reason why I'm in Hadley today is because about 3 years ago, I think it was, I made a video exploring a path nearby to where I am right now. And looking back on that video, I wasn't 100% happy with it. So I figured, because of that reason, be a good idea to come back and explore that path again. On top of that, in the next few weeks, providing everything goes to plan and providing the weather's actually nice, I'm considering a couple of videos around Horton Wood, and if that goes to plan, then this video I'm making this afternoon would be a good idea of a springboard point of reference to start those videos from. So yeah, we'll see how all that goes. In the meantime, let's check out where exactly in Hadley I am right now for this video, and we'll go from there. So for today's video, we're just outside the Hop and Vine pub in Hadley Centre. And if we have a look over here, you'll see Hadley Centre itself with Hadley Dental Practice, Whitefish Chippy, Greg's, and over there, Tesco. We've also got in here a signpost about the historic Hadley village, and if we have a closer look, this gives some of the key points in history about Hadley. For example, beginning in the year 1066 AD, mentioned in the Domesday Book, and was known as Hadley, and in 1086 recorded as having 10 inhabitants. And of course this signpost goes on to mentioning various other key points in Hadley's history. It's a bit worn out, a bit damaged, unfortunately, so it would be good to see the local council, either the Montgomery and Hadley Parish Council or even Telford Council. Either way, it would be good to see the council replace this sign, clean it up, and yeah, I think that would be a very positive thing for the local community, having this signpost cleaned up and made better than what it currently looks like. Leave a comment in the comments box below this video. Tell me what you think. Personally, I think it'd be a great idea getting this signpost cleaned up and replaced with a better version of itself. So, as we saw a couple of minutes ago, this is the local Tesco here in Hadley. Nice little Tesco, to be honest with you. Good little spot to visit if you need anything going on. But yeah, and from here, well, we've got a little post office inside, which is going to be very handy for everyone in Hadley. So yeah, but to get to where we want to go today, we have to head off this way and basically cross the road to get to where we want to be today. So yeah, let's carry on and walk in front of me basically. So yeah, Hadley Centre. Very much different nowadays to how it was back in the 1990s. Very different, but I think this change is one of those changes for the better, to be honest. But if you want to continue with today's video, you just come down this way and just follow on this path I'm on at the moment. But at the same time, before we go any further, if we just have a look here, as you can see from that signpost in front of me, from where I'm standing right now, you can find your way to places like Montgomery, Wellington, Shorebirch, Horton Wood, Darlington and Trench Lock. And from here, what you want to do is turn to my right and head this way. And what we want to do is basically cross the road at this crossing here. So yeah, Hadley Centre. And from where we are now, what we want to do now that we've crossed the road is head down this way. And if we look over here, we've got a signpost for one of the major cycle routes around Telford. This one for National Cycle Route 81, pointing us in the direction of Wellington and Shrewsbury, as you can see. But that's not the way we want to go today. Instead, we're going to focus on that path there in front of me. And this path, as you can see, also part of National Cycle Route 81. And we're going in the direction of Trench, which is a mile away from where I'm staying right now. Horton Wood, which is 1 1/4 miles away from where we are right now. And Donington, 2 3/4 miles away from where we are. But yeah, this is the way we're going. Up this way. And if you look to my left, you can see we're walking alongside the train track at the moment. This train track is used by cargo trains pulling along rail freight, basically, to a rail freight centre in Donington. It's rare that I'm in Hadley at the same time that a train comes along using this track, but I love it when I see a train coming by this way. It's absolutely cool stuff, in my opinion. I don't know if we'll see one of those trains today. I doubt it, but it would be pretty cool if we did. So yeah, we're just going to carry on along the path in front of me, and yeah. I remember a few years ago I was living in Montgomery at the time, and I'd cycle along this path I'm on right now very often. Firstly, I'd use this path to cycle up to Telford town centre, to be honest, because from Montgomery and Hadley there are several different ways you can get up to Telford town centre and back, and this path I'm on is one of them. On top of that, over recent years I've had a few different jobs working in Horton Wood, one place or another, like a Denso or Hines, and living in Montgomery, cycling along the path I'm on at the moment was, to be honest, the easiest and most straightforward path to get to and from work, basically. And it's quite peaceful along here as well. Really enjoyed coming along here from time to time. So yeah, it's good to come along here once again. And even though we're only a few yards away from the main road, it's actually quite peaceful the further along we get along this path. So close to the traffic and yet so far away. Very nice. Now, in a few yards, we're coming up to easily the most interesting feature along this path, which I did mention in my previous video 3 years ago, coming along this path, and it seemed like a important point of interest. So yeah, we're gonna pause recording of the video for a few moments, and we'll start recording again when we get to the place I'm talking about. So yeah, nice one. So as you can see, we're further along the path now, and we're about to be at the location I was talking about a few moments ago. It's really good that there are so many cycle routes going through Telford, especially through places like Wellington, Hadley and everything. It just makes exploring a lot easier and a lot more fun. And also you get to find out about hidden gems like the one we're about to look at right now. And here we are. Oh. Here we've got two signposts which I imagine are easily overlooked, but both are equally important. The first one, Perry Way. This cycleway is dedicated to the memory of Stephen Perry, cyclist and environmental campaigner, 1951 to 2002. So yeah, obviously Stephen Perry was a very important man campaigning for the environment, which many people will agree is an important issue and worth preserving. And over here, scheme partially financed by the European Regional Development Fund. And there's a lot of signposts like this one around different parts of Telford, especially I remember seeing a few signs like this one in Coldbrookdale. So yeah, it's fantastic that over the years places like this have had funding from the European Regional Development Fund to get funding to make things happen. It's really, really good. And both together, these signposts mark an important part of this section of a cycle path going through Hadley. And if we turn to our left, that way is the cycle path leading us back to where we started this video at Hadley Centre. Whereas if we look to my right, path continues that way toward Trench and Donington. And if we have a look behind me, just over here, we see the path leading us back to the main road, and just up here will be the local Aldi supermarket. So let's see if we can have a bit of a look at that. But yeah, we're further into Hadley at the moment. It's a Lidl actually, not an Aldi, but it's the local Lidl supermarket. Nice one. We're not going to go to Lidl at the moment because I don't need to go and get anything from there. So what we're going to do is head back down this way and rejoin the cycle path. So yeah, through that underpass, through that gate in front of me, is GKN Sankey, one of the largest employers in Telford, at least in this part of Telford. So yeah, we're not going to go that way because chances are I'm not going to be allowed through the gate. So instead we're going to stick with a plan and follow the path toward Trench and Horton Wood and Donington. Up this way. As I said a few minutes ago, for various reasons a few years ago, I used to cycle along this path nearly every day. And it's a fantastic path to cycle along. It's really fun, nice and smooth ride from start to finish. But that said, as much as I love cycling, doing what I'm doing right now and just walking along this way is really enjoyable. I'm able to better pay attention to my surroundings, and because I'm better able to pay attention to what's around me, I'm better able to appreciate this particular footpath. It's easier to enjoy the peace and quiet, and you can hear the birds singing quite a bit in this video, so there is a lot of nature going on, surprisingly, which is really good. So if coming somewhere to appreciate a bit of nature in unexpected places, then a path like this is definitely for you if that's the kind of thing you really enjoy. So yeah, definitely worth exploring this way. In keeping with what I've just said, although the most common bit of wildlife you'll encounter along this path will be the birds singing in the trees, like today, you'll also see occasional rabbit, especially crossing the train track, which, as I said earlier, we're currently walking alongside of. So yeah, from time to time, if you happen to glance the train track that we're next to, you'll probably see a rabbit going about its business. And even on the path that we're walking along right now, I've seen a few rabbits going around. So yeah, always something to appreciate along here. Like I said, you wouldn't necessarily expect this kind of thing happening in the heart of Hadley, especially when we're so close to the one main road. But at the same time, we're far enough away from the main traffic for birds and rabbits and whatnot to not be bothered by it at the end of the day. So definitely worth the effort, and definitely a good spot for people who appreciate and enjoy nature in unexpected places. So yeah. It won't be long before we start to rejoin the main road and seeing all the traffic again. A few yards in front of me will be Trenchrock Island, a main and common. Yeah, well, everyone who comes by Hadley and onwards to Donington or Horton Wood, coming off the EP, for example, knows about the Trenchrock Islands. Pretty manic to navigate sometimes during rush hour traffic, but I guess that was the best way to manage the traffic around this side of Telford. And notice something here, this little thing, 1200. Earlier on I noticed another sign like this 1200, but instead it said 1000. I've never spotted those before. They must be new. I wonder what they mean. If anyone watching this video has spotted these and knows what they mean, then I look forward to hearing about it in the comments section below this video. In a moment, if we were to look to my left, we'll see a better view of a train track I've been talking about. So we'll just walk a couple of yards past these bushes. Here we are. This train track, as I said earlier on, goes onwards to Donington and a freight centre, a train freight centre in Donington. So yeah, further along the path now, and here we are toward the end of the path we've been exploring today. So yeah, the train track continues on over a bridge onwards to Donington, but obviously we can't go that way. We instead have to follow the path to my right, and down the bottom here is where we'll find ourselves at Trenchrock Garage. And here's another one of those things I talked about a few minutes ago. 1600, that means. Well, that says. I wonder what it means. Be nice to know. I'll have to find that out somehow. But yeah. And here we are, part of the Silken Way, as you can see. from Bratton to Coalport. In front of me is the Eastern Primary, or the EP. And here is Trench Lock. And we got KFC over there. And finally, we've got Morrison's Daily, which used to be Trench Lock Garage, but a few years ago Morrison's took over this place, so yeah, it's no longer Trench Lock Garage, but instead Morrison's Daily. So yeah, that was a walkabout through Hadley, from Hadley Centre along the Perryway cycle path down to where I am now, opposite KFC and next to Trench Lock Garage. Like I said at the start of the video, it's a shame that the weather is a bit rubbish today. It would have been nicer if the weather was like how it was a couple of days ago. Well, there we are. Now, if all goes to plan, in the next few weeks, next couple of months or so, where I am now is going to be the starting point of a few other videos going around Horton Wood, but we'll see how it pans out, depending on the weather and a few other details, but that's the plan. In the meantime, thank you everyone for watching. I'm grateful for everyone taking the time to watch my videos, and yeah, I hope you're all having a really good day. Take care of yourselves, be safe, have a good weekend, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.